Hello, my name is Nick Knight. I am the director here at NK Active. So, who are we? We are a team of podiatrists and rehabilitation specialists to help rehabilitate people back from any injury, back to any level of work or activity they want to do. And we've recently just added our core podiatry service to also to help manage those verrucas and ingrown toenails. So, what is the problem? The problem is that injuries occur. Injuries occur at work, injuries occur outside of work that have the ability to affect work, which can result in employees going off sick or not being able to fulfill their duties, which then obviously then has a burden and a risk attached to that for you employers, because then that means the reduction in productivity, or you have to get someone else in to do that job whilst that employee is off sick. And when we then start looking at the data, did you know that there's roughly about 138,000 new musculoskeletal injuries are happening at work last year? And if you then bring that into the total of the ongoing amount, you're talking approaching 500,000 cases. So why do injuries occur? Injuries occur for one of two reasons. There will be an acute trauma, a slip, a trip, or a fall. And they're quite easy to pick up and notice when they happen. The ones that in clinic that we see occur most often are the overuse injuries that occur over time. So it could be that someone has started doing more lifting at work and their body is not used to it, and it will result in a possible injury. Now, there's a lot of people that talk about lifting correctly and everything along those lines. However, when we actually look at the scientific research, there's not much evidence to back up how we lift and injuries that occur. We sort of believe it's more about the capacity of that person to do that job, i.e. they may just be not strong enough, or their body's just not used to doing that activity, which increases their risk of getting an injury. And then we then get the things that happen outside of work. So did you know that was 1.5 million attendances to A&E for ankle sprains, of which 32% of those will still have problems ongoing 7 years down the line? Running's incredibly popular now, especially as we sort of come out of this lockdown period where people have suddenly started taking up running. And of that, around about 42%, 46% of these runners will have an injury within their running lifetime. Again, which has the ability to impact on their job and their role that they do at work. So how can we help? Well, we want to help deliver a service to try and help reduce your risk of your staff going off sick, and eventually we want to try and look at reducing the amount of sick pay that you have to pay out on the risk and the burden to your company. So we want to be able to take any employee that gets an injury. Yes, we're predominantly a lower limb specialist clinic, but we can treat the whole body. And we want to be able to turn around and say, okay, we are massively data driven. So we will audit everything that we do. And when we look at our own data, currently we know if someone comes to see us with a musculoskeletal injury, we know that on average we'll achieve an 89% pain reduction, we'll achieve the patient goals 95% of the time, and we'll roughly do that in 12 weeks. And that's what our data is showing us. And then more importantly is then 6 months down the line, everyone is still back at work doing all their duties, and then half of those are then doing double the amount of sport and exercise outside of work as well, which has a massive impact on their overall health and well-being. We all know the benefits of leading an active lifestyle. It obviously helps with managing mental health, it helps increase productivity, it helps reduce the risk of getting illnesses. So that's what we want to try and do. And alongside that, we want to help educate your managers, your staff, on how we can try and reduce the risk of these injuries happening in the first place, because there are some things that can be done to help reduce the overall risk. And a lot of it can be just educating about managing loads. It can be about exercises that people need to be doing to make sure they're going to be capable of doing the task that's put upon them. So this all sounds well and good, but actually how much does it cost? Well, we're going to be really flexible and we really want to work with everyone to try and help collect this data on how people are getting injured, why people are getting injured, and then how long it takes you to get back to work, because a lot of companies just don't have this fine detailed data. So what does it cost? Less than £1 a day for an employee in a nutshell. But as I said, we are flexible, we are open to have discussions about the needs of your company, because everyone's company is going to be different. So we would love to hear from you, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Goodbye.